Dear students, happy to meet you all. I am Dr. S. Angelina Glorita Parimala, Associate Professor of Zoology, Edim College for Women, Nagapattinam. Today I am going to discuss with you about the topic pond ecosystem, which is coming under the core paper Environmental Biology. Before going to pond ecosystem, let us see what is pond. A pond is an area filled with water, either natural or artificial, that is smaller than a lake. When we see the types of pond, it was classified into two types, natural and artificial ponds. First is about the natural pond. It arises naturally during rainy season by floodplains as a part of river system or formed by the shallow depression and the rainwater holds back to form a pond. Increased rainfall results the formation of some vernal ponds, mountain ponds, stream ponds in wildlife area, spring-fed ponds and kettle ponds. This is natural vernal pond. This is natural shallow depression pond. This is natural wildlife area pond. The next is natural kettle ponds. The last one is mountain pond. All these forms are called natural ponds because they formed naturally. The next is about man-made or artificial ponds. They are constructed artificially and maintained for different needs or for various purposes. Here we can see some examples. Ornamental fish forming pond. This is ornamental plants forming pond. The next is about mini ponds or bowl ponds. They are quite small and can be made out of plastic pot or a barrel. Due to their smaller size, they can be portable and suitable for indoor purpose. Mostly used for an aesthetic purpose towards the maintenance of ornamental fishes and plants. The next is about the ecosystem. The word ecosystem was coined by A.G. Tansley in 1935. Eco refers to environment. System refers to a complex coordinated unit with abiotic and biotic factors. Ecosystem is a basic fundamental ecological unit of environmental biology or ecology. The next is about the pond ecosystem. Here we can see the definition first. The relationship between abiotic and biotic factors and their interactions in any natural or artificial pond water system are collectively called as pond ecosystem. The next is about the components of pond ecosystem. Here it contains two components, abiotic component and biotic component, and pond is a suitable example for aquatic freshwater ecosystem. This is a beautiful diagram of pond ecosystem. Here we can see the interactions between abiotic and biotic factors. Here we can observe the presence of plants, animals, and also we can see the microorganisms at the bottom. The next is about abiotic factors of a pond. Here it includes water, soil, air, oxygen and carbon dioxide, light, temperature, minerals, climate, pressure, humus, etc. The next is about biotic factors of a pond. Here it was categorized into three levels: producers, consumers and decomposers. Here consumers are again classified into three levels: primary consumers or herbivores, secondary consumers or primary carnivores, tertiary consumers or secondary carnivores. Let us see about the producers. They produce or synthesize the energy with the help of abiotic factors. The food production of pond depends on the producers. Example: phytoplankton, floating plants, rooted plants and submerged plants, green flagellates, diatoms, wallwax, euglena, blue-green algae and some other green algae. The next is about consumers. They feed on other organisms. Primary consumers or herbivores are the first. They depend on the producers for food and are called as primary consumers. They are also called as herbivores as they feed on plants and algae. Example: zooplankton like cyclops, daphnia, larvae of chironomus, limnaea, snails, etc. Secondary consumers or primary carnivores. They feed on the primary consumers or herbivores. Also, they are called as primary carnivores because they are the first carnivores in the food chain. Example: small fishes, frogs, etc. The next is about tertiary consumers or secondary carnivores. Primary or first carnivores are eaten by the secondary carnivores. They are called as tertiary consumers. Example, large fishes, snakes, etc. The last level is about decomposers. The dead bodies of the organisms and plants of a pond at last will settle at the bottom. Group of organisms that will act on the dead materials of the plants and animals, and they will break the complex form into simple forms. These group of organisms are called as decomposers. Example, microbes, soil bacteria, which are involved in the decomposing activity. As a result, there is a formation of humus which is rich in nutrients. These nutrients are absorbed by the plants and algae present in the pond. The next is about the biotic zones of a pond. Here we can see the formation of 4 zones: littoral, limnetic, profundal and benthic zones. Littoral zone contains all emergent plants which are rich in biomass, and also plants rooted in the pond bottom, and their stems and leaves extend out of the water. And also we can observe the presence of submerged plants, small portion of the plant present above the water and most of the pot merged inside the water. The next zone is limnetic zone. Here we can see the open water area with penetration of light, rich in plankton and floating algae. The next is about profundal zone. Here light can't penetrate and lack of producers with higher level of consumers. The last zone is benthic zone. Bottom of the pond with dark area rich in decomposing organisms from microscopic bacteria to macroscopic invertebrates like crayfish. Here it is not a fish, it is a invertebrate crustacean commonly called as freshwater lobster. The next is about the different seasons and seasonal changes in a pond ecosystem. The different seasons are summer, fall, winter and spring. Let us see about the summer. Here we can see the formation of summer stratification, that is the formation of 3 layers: epilimnion, hypolimnion and metalimnion. The upper layer is called as epilimnion, the bottom layer is called as hypolimnion, the middle layer is called metalimnion. Here we can see the fluctuations in the temperatures. The upper layer we can see the higher temperature when compared with the bottom of the pond. The next is fall. Here due to the wind flow, here we can observe the fluctuations in the temperature at beginning. Due to the wind flow that creates the uniform temperature at the last. The next is about winter. Here again we can see the winter stratification, the formation of a cool layer at the top of the pond and the bottom layer with little warm. The next is spring. Here we can observe the spring overturn, and also again here the wind flow creates the uniform temperature throughout the pond. The next is about pond overturn. Here we can observe the seasonal changes in a pond and its ecosystem, summer, fall, winter and spring. Here the producers are less in number and the production is also very low during summer and winter, and we can observe the higher level of production of producers in the fall and spring. The next is about the summary. Here the pond ecosystem starts with the abiotic factors. Here in the presence of abiotic factors, the producers, it will produce the food. That food was consumed by the primary, secondary and tertiary consumers. Then the dead materials of the organisms as well as plant, they are come and settle at the bottom, and here the role of decomposers, it will decompose the dead organisms and it change the complex form into simple form, and the simple form are called as nutrients. These nutrients are absorbed by the plants and this is take place in the form of a cycle. When we see the conclusion, here a pond is a small or big pool of still water often formed naturally or artificially created Pond ecosystem is a sum total of living and non-living components, and it is an important essential unit of the environmental biology. Thank you.